Today we're talking to Lisa Edwards. She's an award-winning screenwriter. She is a high-profile trader, and she's into crypto. And we're going to be talking about her success. We're going to be talking about her career and where she is going. If it's your first time here, this channel is all about entrepreneurship, success mindset, and sales training videos. So if you like that, go ahead, subscribe down below. And Lisa, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me, Paul. It's amazing to be here.
So, Lisa, let me ask you something. You've done so much in your life. First of all, you were an actor. Yes, I believe you were in EastEnders, and I remember that from being a kid.
No, Neighbours.
Neighbours. So, okay, well,
Yeah.
close.
Close.
And then you went into doing other things in your life, all the way to writing screenplays. I got to ask you, though, before all this, before doing what you're doing now, what were you like? If I met you in high school, what would I think about you?
I was the naughty kid in high school, so I was. My sister and I were always wagging school and going down to the theme parks, and yeah, we were naughty kids. much to my mum's like stress level, like we were putting it right up there. So yeah, she was paying big dollars for us to go to school, and we were never there. So.
But did you study? Did you read on your own, or were you just out of it completely?
Of school? No, I did really well. I didn't need to be at school. Yeah, I was like an A+ student, so it was like it was boring.
Yeah, I had the same issue, but I was not an A+ student.
Yeah. I was one of those kids that didn't need to study. So yeah, if I did study, I did extra well, but like all of my maths and my English and all of those, I was getting sort of, 95% without studying. So
nice.
Yeah.
So what happened
after?
I
could have been a genius.
Maybe you still are.
Maybe.
Well, you are into technical analysis, and that's not something very common. Let me ask you, what happened after? How did you get on TV? How did you get into Neighbours? Not EastEnders, Neighbours.
So I studied sort of acting, and I like years and years of study of acting. So yeah, that was kind of what I wanted to do. So it was, that was fun. It challenged me. It kept me entertained, and yeah. So whereas, doing sort of, your everyday schoolwork was kind of a bit boring, and, I was, while I was shy, I was kind of shy for approaching new people. I'm not like that anymore. But at school, in my younger sort of, high school years, I was bullied a lot, and Mum took me out and, changed schools and that sort of thing, because, I was bullied for being too smart, which is crazy. So yeah, and then she found a school that I kind of fit into, and yeah, it was kind of fun. And yeah, how to explain why I wanted to do acting? It was just something I always wanted to do.
Yeah. I've done a bit of acting. I was in some Greek soap operas and stuff like that, and for a while.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, it's fun.
It is fun. It is.
Yeah.
I never became an actor, but like something on that. But I did my piece. It was fun. What happened after that? Why did you stop? First of all, I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, so I was doing that. I had kids. I had a lot of kids, and at that point when I stopped, I had 4 kids.
Wow.
And yeah, I got divorced at that point. That's where the Edwards comes, and yeah, I was working for Craig, my brother, Dr. Craig Wright at the time. I was working with him at De Morgan, and a couple of years down the track after working for him, I took a redundancy package from the business, and because I wanted to go back into acting, I wanted to pursue the stuff that I wanted to do, and I bought an agency, because in my mind, the crazy way I think, the best way to get myself acting was to own the agency. So
It makes sense, right? It does
In theory, it makes sense, but when you're the owner, you're so busy, you just don't have time to do that. So, yeah. So in theory, it was the best thing to do, but in reality, it was a lot of work, and it was, I had all these amazing actors and models and everything on my books, and I was, working long, long hours finding them work. So, yeah, so I did that for 13 years, and then I thought, hang on a sec, I only get one life, and I want to do what I want to do. And that's when I sold the agency and I started writing, and I went back into acting.
Got you. Did you realize you bought yourself a job?
Yeah, after a while,
right?
It kind of became that. It was like, hang on a sec, this isn't what it was meant to be.
I used to entertain. I used to be an entertainer, MC, and I had a nightclub, which I performed at as well. But I also, I had my own company, my production company, and everything. It just felt like I was working for everybody else all the time. It was
and that's kind of what it was. It was like this thing that I bought so that I would do the things that I wanted to do, and I ended up doing everything everyone else wanted to do. So it was crazy. So yeah, when I realized that, that's when I sold it.
And that is that how you went through the screenplay, or did you get into cryptocurrency first? Like, which one came first after that?
Good question. Probably both at the same time.
Okay.
So I had cryptocurrency, and I wasn't trading it. I was just hodling it. And I've always been a trader because it's a good way to make additional income, especially if you know what you're doing. Not if you don't know what you're doing.
When you know what you're doing, because I started now day trading.
Yeah. So if you don't know what you're doing, you can lose a lot of money. If you do know what you're doing, you can make a lot of money. So, and you're not always winning, but you average out your trades, and you win more than what you lose. And yeah, so in 2013, I sold, was it 2013? Yeah, 2013, I sold the business. And that's kind of when cryptocurrency was starting to become more tradable. So, and there was a couple of small exchanges that were trading it. Mt. Gox was trading it, of course. And it's like, I think anyone who's, been around since that time lost money on Mt. Gox, but, what can you do?
I heard about it.
Yeah. So that kind of, when I sold the business, I had a nice chunk of money that was going to last me, a certain period. And I thought, I'll just start trading it. And that way I'll be able to live for, however long off the money without having like a real job.
It is a real job. I didn't need Mount Gox to lose all my money. I did it anyway.
That kind of happens, doesn't it?
I have twice in my life, so. No, I was trading, and I was trading, and I thought I was making money. Then I realized I would have made more if I wasn't trading and was just holding. Then I realized the problem was I didn't know how to trade. So I went through that whole cycle thing. So I'm still learning. So how did this whole movie come about? Because I know that it's releasing in 2020, I believe. Yes.
Which I've got a couple of movies. So I've got Blink, which is co-written with a friend of mine. So that one came around in 2013 at the same time that I sold my agency. So one of my best friends was standing in my kitchen. She said, I had this dream, and, I think it could be a movie. And I'm like, sounds good. So she told me the dream, and she's told me how, the mechanics of it worked, and it was quite dark. And I said, we can definitely do this. We can write this. We can do this. So we got a storyboard. We planned it all out, and then we sat down and we wrote it. And the first draft actually won the New York Screenwriting Awards.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was the first draft. So that's the worst it can ever be. So it stayed within that sort of framework for about 3 years. And that first draft was called Limbo, and it won 7 awards as Limbo. And then we started talking with some producers, and it got renamed, and it's now called Blink. So because it's a darker thriller now, so it got darker and sort of edgier. Yeah,
Blink,
it's a great name.
So was Limbo,
really
but Blink, I think, is a...
Yeah, so what happens in the film, like, is, you know, these 4 women get taken simultaneously and they get locked in a room. So, and there's a man that comes in and he tells them that 3 will die and 1 will live, and these women need to choose who that is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's quite dark, and it goes through all the choices that you make in your life to get to where you are, and why you made those choices, and how you could have done that differently. And yeah, so it kind of unravels the lives. And you know, as an audience member, you're sitting there and you're like, okay, if my life was in this room, what would I be doing? What would I choose? So yeah, so that's kind of that movie. And then crypto trading sort of took me, you know, in the direction of Discords, of OTC, of doing all these wild and crazy things with money, and traveling all around the world and being in a different country every day for, you know, started this year, I was in, I think, 13 different countries within a period of 3 months. So it was like this crazy time. No, not Greece.
Why, Lisa? Why? It's like, come on.
It was literally just a stone's throw away from where I was. I was in Europe. So, yeah, I do have to get to Greece. It looks beautiful.
We could be doing the interview right here.
Yeah. I'm sure it's warmer than Melbourne.
It is very warm. It's hot right now. I have a fan over there, and it's...
Yeah.
I think Australia gets warmer, though, in general.
It does, yeah.
I want to get back into crypto, but I want to go a little bit into success mindset, what it actually takes to succeed in life, and in crypto in this case. And I want to ask you, what does success mean to you? Your definition of success.
Success is being able to live the life that I want to live the life that I love. So, yeah, I've got a tattoo. It's there. It's an infinity. Okay. So, and it says, live the life you love the life you live.
Nice.
And that's success.
That is nice.
Yeah, so that's the daily reminder. So at the time when I sold my business in 2013, I was at a period where it was like I didn't want to be doing that. And it was sort of, you know, you get to a stage where you've decided that you don't want to be doing something, and it's, you know, it's sort of every day is a challenge to do that thing. And yeah, so that was the tattoo, that I can change my life, I can change my world. And yeah, that was kind of what Blink was as well. It was these 4 women that, you know, can change their lives, and, you know, trying to escape this room where only one person's going to live. So yeah.
What happens at the end?
You'll have to watch it.
What happens at the end of the other one that's coming out?
Oh, the cryptocurrency, so Coin Runners, so is based on probably about a year of my life. So nice. Yeah, and a relationship that I had within the industry with a high profile guy, and you know, some of the stuff you got messed up in drugs, and, you know, you can't save somebody, so they can only save themselves. And that was kind of a big lesson for me. And, you know, and trying to keep businesses running when everything's sort of falling around, you know, apart around you. And yeah, so it's finding this inner strength to move forward and to keep going. And that's what the movie is. So,
you know, that's a great bridge onto what I was going to ask about success just before, because being an entrepreneur, what people don't understand is, being an entrepreneur, you're not working for somebody else. You're working for yourself. And that's not the hard part. The hard part is when everything is falling around you, what you do. So for me, for example,
I saw a really good quote on that. Sorry to interrupt you, but I did see a really good quote on that today. So when, you know, everything's falling around you, it's how you react, not your, It's
Stoicism.
your reaction to that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can
So
only react. You can't. But so but people don't understand what could go wrong or how hard it is. So let me give you an example.
everything
Okay?
could go wrong.
I lost my nightclub in maybe quite a few years ago. All right,
Hmm.
and everything was going up and down. When bankrupt, made it again. When bankrupt, and made really well. Then I got cancer. Then I was getting
Oh,
cancer. I
okay.
had chemotherapy. I had bone marrow transplant. But I wrote my books. I pulled through. And like, hey,
Uh-huh.
you react.
Yeah.
Then everything was going well, and I learned that my mother had cancer and my sister had cancer while my house was burning down in Gineta.
Oh, no.
My sister died last year.
Oh,
My mother
I'm
died this
sorry to
year.
hear that.
Meanwhile, my dad had 2 heart attacks in between. So it was me going through hospital to hospital to hospital. And
Oh,
here's
my
the thing.
goodness.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
When you work for somebody, it's easier because you just go to work, you pull through, you forget, you do what you got to do. But when
Yeah.
you have your own stuff around you, I'll be honest with you, last 2 months, I just stopped doing everything. And that I just had
Yeah.
too much. I was overwhelmed. That was it. Now I'm bouncing back slowly. Um,
That's kind of what happened to me at the end of it. And that's how the movie was born. It was sort of this therapeutic thing to get that out of my system and to move forward. And, somebody, I think it was a therapist. I was going to a therapist at the time because it was such a stressful, like overwhelming thing, like similar to what happened, but different because I didn't have people die. So I almost had people die, and it was kind of that terrifying sort of thing that, I can't do anything to save this person. And he, is in control of his own life. And if he overdoses like he was doing, then I just have to accept that. And it's like you get so overprotective of that person and so, crazy. And it's this whole emotional roller coaster that went with that. So, I stopped working in that business, and I'm lucky that I do have enough money to support myself. And, I can trade and I can do all of that. And, I took 2 months off and decided what I wanted to do to move forward. And so that's where Coin Runners was sort of born. And but I can't imagine having, 2 family members die within that small period, and then your dad's sick again.
I saved
like,
it last minute.
Yeah.
And my mom. If I wasn't here, she would have died before she died because I ran her to hospital. I was here. I almost died. Anyway, so it's a lot.
Yeah, so I just can't imagine the stress that goes with all of that. So it's like, they say to, walk in somebody else's shoes, and it's like, because you don't know what they're feeling. And I have this thing that you have to be nice to everyone because you don't know if they've woken up and, their wife's at home dying, or, something's happened in their life.
Try telling that to Twitter.
Oh,
for all you Twitter people watching this right now. For all you haters.
All you haters.
Yes, you too.
There's the worst haters on Twitter. So finally, they've just started doing something about it. So they've got some new stuff happening where you can, block people and report them. You've always been able to do that, but there's certain criteria now that, bans these accounts, which has been good. So, yeah.
So how do you, because being an entrepreneur, even in trades, right, whether you're a trader or entrepreneur, it's a likewise sort of path. We both go through it. How do you handle failure? How do you push through? Because everyone fails. Don't tell me you haven't failed, whether it's trades or whatever. Everyone fails.
Oh, so many. There's days where, like, you will have, like the other day where Bitcoin crashed, and I think I had 4 or 5 failed trades. And it's like, and I'm sitting there and I'm updating my Discord, and I'm like, oh God, not another one. But it's part of what you do. It's all part of the journey. It's like, so, the following week we had a killer week, and we made like 30% on Litecoin, 30% on Bitcoin Cash, 30% on, just about every sort of alt there was. And then Bitcoin was running, and, we had margin trades on that. So the following week, and it happened. And, you know, so we had 4 trades that all failed and they were 3%. So stop loss is always 3%. So it's 12% we lost after making these amazing trades. So, you know, when you put it in perspective, it's not a failure. It might feel really bad at the time when I'm going, oh, God, I've got to put another failed trade in Discord. But it's just part of life. So, you know, and with my agency, we didn't win every contract. So, you know, there was some that I was like, damn, I really wanted to do that contract. Or, you know, you'd be on a job and somebody, you know, we were supplying talent or, you know, models for something and somebody didn't turn up and the client's like going crazy at you. And all of a sudden you just got to think on your feet. It's like, what do I need to do? How do I fix this? And let's move forward. So, you know, it's always this positive sort of energy that you have to put onto it. It's never a failure. It's just a different way of doing things. We're moving in a different direction, that sort of thing. So, you know, it's never a failure.
That's a great example, by the way. I actually own a video production company, Two Real Productions, and I was doing producing for anything like that. By the way, for you guys watching, comment down below what you did if you were in the crash, if you're into Bitcoin, if you're at the crash, 40% down. What did you do? I had everything in my wallet, so I couldn't do anything. I didn't have no stop losses, no nothing. I just like crumble down.
That's the sad thing for hodlers. It's like hodlers would be sitting there going, yesterday I was rich, today not so much.
Pretty much.
So, yeah.
Now, what drives you? Because I'm sure you have a goal, you have a purpose, you have a vision. What drives you? What makes you keep going? What's that burning fire within you?
That's a good question. So in recent months, probably in the last couple of years, I've changed the way I look at everything. So it used to be that I would have a goal and I'd get there and the goalpost would move and I wouldn't celebrate anything because, you know, the next target was there or the next thing was going to happen. And I found that was a really negative way of looking at life because I was never celebrating all these small achievements that I was making. And that kind of led to, you know, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be here anymore because this isn't pleasing me. It's not, you know, satisfying any desire in me. So I kind of sat back and I went, okay, I've got all these amazing achievements. You know, I've got 14 awards for Blink. When it was Limbo, it won 7 awards. So in total, that film's got 21 screenwriting awards. And, you know, I've got 3 books, 3 novels, and I've got this other film. And, you know, the books I've just written a TV pilot for those. So, you know, that's really exciting as well. And that's won 2 awards. Good question. They're about Crazy Lisa as well. So just, you know, so the books are Can't Fight Fate, Chasing Butterflies, and Seed of the Sunflower. And they're about a girl named Nikki, not me. So, yeah. So a girl named Nikki, and when she's 21, she goes to a psychic, and this psychic describes perfect man. So she spends her life looking for this guy. And she gets to her late 30s and she hasn't found him. And, you know, she's just broken up with a long-term partner. She walks in on him and, you know, he's cheating on her and she's like, okay, right, my life's got to change. I'm going to find the guy that's described on this psychic tape. So that's her mission. And yeah, so it's kind of like Sex and the City meets Ally McBeal, if you remember that show, the clumsy lawyer. Yeah, so Nikki's an entertainment lawyer, so she's a really smart, intelligent woman, but her one sticking point is relationships and she can't find this guy. So yeah, so we see her dating like lots of the wrong people.
That's really cool.
And the disastrous circumstances, yeah.
Is there also humor in it?
Oh, yes, very comedic. So that was really fun to write.
By the way, again, for you people watching out there, watching Lisa, we're also writing a few books. Lisa's in the Crypto Factor Volume 2. That's part of what this is what this interview is for. Actually, there'll be more information in the book. This is part 1, by the way, the Crypto Factor. I'll leave a link down in the description below. I'll leave everything that Lisa's doing as well, all her links in the description below. Check that out. And yeah, I write a few books.
Yeah, I know. You've got some amazing ones. All the guys in my Discord are reading one of your books. What would that be?
Which one? This one?
Yes. That's what she did. I was like, does he have a copy just handy?
Yes.
Of course.
We're releasing another book on blockchain and crypto marketing, and also a magazine pretty soon. So, and I'm also working on another one with your brother and some other people in cryptocurrency as well.
Amazing.
So everyone knows I'm in the cryptocurrency in general. But I'm fond of your brother. Now, it's just style. I just like his good class.
Oh, he's a crazy man. I don't know if you get the crazy man side of him.
So, do you think anybody can succeed in crypto? Let me rephrase that. Do you think anybody can succeed as a trader in crypto or in crypto?
If they learn, yes. So if you are prepared to, it's like anything in life. If you're prepared to put in the time to learn and to, hone your skills and to sharpen your tools and be the best you can be, then yes, you can succeed, for sure.
And what does it take other than learning what you're supposed to do?
Okay, so if you want to be a trader, sites like BitMEX offer test nets. So I highly recommend going onto their test nets and trading before you go onto the live. It is a little bit different because you're like, it's not my money, so it doesn't matter. It's not real money, but, it is, practice makes perfect. So, see if you can make money on the test net, even though it's not real money, and then start small. So, because regardless of whether you've got a lot of money to spend in crypto or you've got a little bit of money to spend in crypto, if you can't trade and you're going to, I'd rather lose a little bit of money than a lot of money, because it doesn't matter if, you can't trade a little bit of money, you're not going to be able to trade a lot of money. It's just how it works.
Got you. All right.
Yeah.
Now,
start small.
What do you think is the biggest problem in cryptocurrency and crypto in general? Like, what holds crypto in itself back, and what might hold the individual back as well? It's a 2-in-1.
Crypto in itself is held back by the stigma that, the general public thinks it's corrupt, and they think that it's, everyone's stealing money and dealing drugs with it. It's like, it's not what happens. It's like there's a whole ecosystem of these amazing projects and these amazing talented people, and, so many things that happen. And there's so many really, really cool people in the space. And it's like you go to these conferences and events and you meet them all and you hear their stories and how they got into crypto and how they started. And some people it's by accident. Some people have done, course after course, and they're programmers and they're developers, and, they've got all these different languages that they can, program in. And, there's so many different people in the space trying to, do something and create a new life and create a new world. We're on, sort of the precipice of this new beginning, new monetary system to start with. And we're at the beginning of that.
Yeah.
So what was the second part of that question? I think I did.
Crypto in the whole and the person as an individual.
Okay. Person as an individual doing well in crypto is just about, taking the time to learn. And it's, that's what it's about. So making connections is a good thing in crypto as well. So if you're on crypto Twitter, be nice, because if you're not, I'm going to block you.
Yes, some really cool comeback answers and one-liners, by the way. I love them.
I do. It's just like, and everyone says, just don't feed the trolls. And I'm like, it's fun to be smart to them.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So personal
I
questions.
think that's why they do it. So, yeah. Okay.
Some personal questions. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Do you have any mentors, or did you have any mentors in life?
With acting or with screenwriting or
Anything,
okay, with
anything that you feel that contributed to your success in any field?
yeah. So I had an acting teacher. His name was Alexi Vallis. He's made a whole heap of movies himself, but he was amazing in just teaching me how to be me, if that makes sense. So because acting is all about bringing yourself to the screen and bringing your essence to that character. So, he did, and that helped with me being out in the public and me talking to people. And, I was this shy little person, and he was like, no, you're amazing. Be you. It's like, yeah. So he was that person that did that. And then screenwriting, there's so many people that have helped along the way. There's, I'm working at the moment with this amazing woman, Janet Jeffries. She's from Lawrence Bender Productions, and she's helping me with Coin Runners. And she is just the most inspiring, amazing woman ever. So, and yeah, so if I can do half the things that she's done in her life, I'll be happy.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and in crypto, there's so many people. So, my brother originally sort of, he stuck me into this job at De Morgan when I was, a single mum with 4 kids. And he's like, right, I'm going to help you. And, you're really smart and you're going to do this. And I'm like, okay, cool. So, he did that for me at the start. And I forever appreciate that, because that has set me on this journey and I'm here now. So in crypto.
Do you talk to your brother?
Yeah, I do. So not as much as WhatsApp. So yeah.
So if he's watching this right now, is there anything you want to tell him real quick?
It's like, be nice to your mother. He'll know what I mean.
Who else do you appreciate in the crypto industry, if you will?
In the crypto industry, everyone I meet. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's along the way, like I've met amazing girl Ivy through Twitter, Crypto Wendy-O, she's amazing. There's so many boys in the space that are, I just went to Singapore and, I met all these new people that are like all friends now. And, we message each other, and it's like, you just meet so many amazing people in this space, and you just click.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've got a new group of friends now. So that's really exciting. So, yeah.
So another question now. Do you have any habits or morning rituals that you go by?
Lots of coffee.
Lots of coffee?
Yeah. I have to make my bed every day.
Really?
Yeah. So I probably have 3 coffees, like 3 espressos before I start the day.
Before I start drinking coffee.
Yeah, before I start drinking coffee. So I have espressos before coffee, but no, I have to make my bed. It's like it's the first thing that I do every day.
I've heard of that as a success habit as well. I never do it. Full transparency, but I've heard of that.
Yeah, no, it's one of these things I have to do every day. And if I don't do it, and say I'm running late and I've come downstairs, because I do a lot of meetings with like LA and New York, so I'm up all hours of the day. And so if I get up, I'm running late, I put my makeup on, and it's not like a guy, because you've got to do makeup, and I've just put my hair back today, but yeah, so if I haven't done that, I'll go back after the meeting and I'll make my bed.
That is so cool.
Crazy but true.
I figure
So,
I'm going to sleep again at night. What's the point? I know it's a guy thing.
yeah,
Maybe it's a guy thing. I'm not
thing.
even sure.
I think it's a guy thing.
Who here makes their bed? Comment down below if you make your bed every day, or if you think it's a waste of time, or if you have someone else do it, depending.
So that's kind of my morning ritual. So coffee and making my bed.
Hobbies?
Hobbies, yoga. I collect beanie bears. It's not really a hobby, but
it's a hobby. I think it
is. Beanie bears. I love them. They're hang on in my cabinet over there.
Oh wow! Okay, so Greg Wright has suits of armors. You have beanie bears in the background. That's awesome.
Yeah, I've always collected them since I was young. And I've got thousands, literally thousands of them now. So yeah. So Craig collected like samurai swords and all this. Oh, I've got this story. So as a kid, he would dress up as a ninja because like kids do. I think I was probably 8 or 9 years old, and he was a couple of years older than me. And now they dress up as, I don't know, Power Rangers or whatever they dress up as, Spider-Man. So, but he was a ninja, and he talked Mum into buying these ninja stars, and I don't know what Mum was thinking when she bought them, but he would throw them at us. So Danielle and I, that's younger sister, so it was Craig, me and Danielle that grew up together. And there's 2 other sisters, but they didn't grow up with us, and they're younger. And he would throw these, and they would literally land in the wall and cut the wall.
Holy shit.
And it's like occasionally they would hit us, and he would think it was the funniest thing, like as brothers do. But it's just like this obsession with Japanese stuff, and he was a ninja, and oh my goodness. So yeah, stories like that. And he would pretend he was chopping our heads off, and if we were so.
That's cool. I got a thing for Japanese culture. I used to do aikido and all that stuff as well. But,
yeah.
It's cool, man. So, okay.
Oh, another hobby you were saying. I love cars and I love racing. So yeah, I used to do that as well.
If you say Lambo, I'm clicking off.
No, I don't own a Lambo.
Okay. This is crypto and Lambo is a bit. What do you have? What's your favorite car that you have?
If I was going to buy a really expensive car, I would buy a Ferrari California, the convertible one.
I agree. I prefer Ferrari than Lambo.
Yeah, I'd have to go Ferrari, not a Lambo. A Lambo's a bit too flashy. I think you can get away with a Ferrari. It just looks like a sports car. Yeah.
I think an advice for people watching: don't go broke trying to look rich. You don't have to get a Lambo yet. You can wait and get it later.
No. Yeah, that's it.
Because a lot of people, they get excited, they make some money in trading, and they just put it all into something else. Like.
Yeah, I think I'd rather buy, if that's going to devalue, I think I'd rather buy real estate or something like that. So yeah.
And soon you'll be able to buy with crypto as well, if not already.
Sorry, new crypto?
You'll be able to buy land with crypto pretty soon, if not already.
Yeah, I think you can in places already buy it with crypto. So yeah, there's been a few transactions I've heard about in Australia where people have bought houses with crypto. So.
All right, so I want to ask you a few more questions, but off the camera for the book. So I just want to ask you this. How can people reach you to either do business with you, I don't know, learn how to trade, go on a date, whatever? How do people reach you?
Go on a date. Well, I am single, so.
Oh, okay.
No. Don't do that. I don't have time to date. So actually, I have been dating a nice guy.
Famous last words there. I don't have time to date.
Yeah, no, I have actually been dating a nice guy, so there you go.
That's cool. But you know, you just trapped yourself in the next conference right now. I'm single. That's it. You're not going to get anything done.
Maybe. No. Oh, God.
So how can people...
So, okay, they can get me for trading and for business. They can head to satoshisisters.com.
Okay.
There's an online form that you can fill in and you can contact me via there. You can get me on Twitter, which is Lisa N. Edwards. You can get me on LinkedIn for business, which is Lisa N. Edwards. You can message me without being connected. I've changed the settings on that because a lot of people were saying I can't connect to you. So that's probably the best way for business. For my books and for my movies, you can check me out on IMDb. Just search Lisa N. Edwards, everything. And my company is Visual Media Group. So that's visualmediagroup.com.au if you want to have a look at what we're doing.
Awesome. And I'll link all that down below as well. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification button. If you want to watch more videos like this, hopefully we'll have Lisa back on after her movie, maybe a little bit before, we'll see. And don't forget to check her out in the Crypto Factor Part 2. One last question before I go into the question. So, what is the one question that you wish people asked you but seldom do?
Okay. That I wish they would ask me.
Or they should ask you.
Okay.
This could be success. This could be to help them, anything like that. What do you think, or what people should ask you so you can answer them, so you can actually help them?
So I could actually help them.
Well, if that's what you want to do, you might want a totally different type of question. You might like, am I a cat person or a dog person?
Yeah, what should they ask me? It's like, well, if they're good looking and they should say, hey, Lisa, would you like to come on a date? No.
Let's talk crypto. Come on.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Everyone asks me all random sort of lots and lots of different questions, but I suppose the one that pops into mind is, what do you want to be when you grow up? And it's like, because I haven't grown up yet.
That is awesome, though. That is awesome. That says a lot. So you still feel like a kid. You still have that average. You still have the drive.
Yeah, I always think that some of the things, I do a lot of silly things and I do a lot of things without thinking. So I don't think I've grown up yet. And I don't think I want to. So what do I want to do when I grow up? I don't want to grow up.
Okay. But you're going to have to answer for the book, though. What do you want to be when you grow up and why? So that's one of the questions we're going to do off camera.
All right.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lisa, for doing this. Really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun and looking forward to talk to you more.
Thank you so much for having me on today. It's been amazing.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.